Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Apollo1, and today we're going to be doing a class setup on Call of Duty Ghosts for the Vector. So before I get into it, I want to say real quick that in Call of Duty Ghosts, there's a lot of different options that you can put on your gun. Obviously, it's the Call of Duty with the most perks ever, so really things depend on preference. So you might not like this class setup, but then again, it might work for you, and you can always change a perk out for another perk or an attachment out for another attachment. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when looking at this setup. But that this is a very, very good setup in itself, and also for like a base if you want to change things up. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So once again, we're going to be doing the Vector class setup. You're going to want to start out with a red dot sight and muzzle brake. The red dot sight just for some reason makes this gun a lot more accurate and makes the range longer, obviously. So you have an increased range, you have a better accuracy, and the damage does go up. Actually, the damage goes up from the muzzle brake, but it makes the range better, and that's always good. So, you know, this is something, like I said, you can change out for, I would use foregrip. Some people I know use rapid fire, but I would stick to either foregrip or red dot sight. Once again, it's just my preference, but there's no doubt I would keep the muzzle brake on there. If you're really going for like a high scoring gameplay and you don't want to be seen on the mini map, then obviously use silencer. But it really all depends. If you're playing hardcore, keep the muzzle brake on there. If you're playing like, if you want to play passively and get maybe like a double KEM strike, or just want to stay off the radar, then obviously you have to use the silencer. So it all depends, but what I would use is the red dot and muzzle brake. Now to move on to the perks, this is where things can get a little confusing, so stay with me. First off, I would use the ready up perk. That's something I use pretty much on every single class setup, both SMGs and assault rifles. Very useful when you're running. You're able to get that gun up there faster, and you're going to be able to get the first bullet on your enemy before they're able to get their first on you. So that's a must. Now, second is the sleight of hand perk. Obviously, that lets you to reload faster, and that's self-explanatory. Then marathon, dead silence, focus, and amplify. Now, focus is absolutely mandatory on all your class setups. It doesn't matter what gun you're using. Focus, if you don't have that on a class setup right now, just go through all your class setups and make sure you have focus equipped. That's something you just need to change something else out for, and make sure you're using focus. Now, dead silence and amplify are two really, really good perks. You kind of just use them hand in hand. So dead silence obviously makes it so that other enemies can't hear you coming. You're just kind of like a silent soldier that will be able to creep up on your enemies without being heard, and people that have headsets, it just basically becomes useless to them because dead silence kind of counters that. Now amplify, it allows you to hear people that aren't using dead silence. It allows you to hear their footsteps very well. You can still hear their footsteps without it, but it makes it even louder. And honestly, it's like the best perk. I can, you know, sound tour, that's where the term comes from. You're able to hear your enemies around you. You're going to be able to know where they're coming from. If there's a guy like below you in the building, or maybe running along the side of the building, you'll know where they are, and you'll just be able to kind of know where they're coming from and predict them. And that's a very important thing when going for KEM strikes in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's very important. So those are the base perks, the starting perks that you want to start off with. And now for specialist. So I mean, if you're using, first off, I want to say if you're using, or if you're playing hardcore, this is what I would use. I would use I don't know why Pred's inviting me, but you would use the SATCOM, you would use the ballistic vest for yourself, and if you want the Oracle. So those are the three you can use if you don't want to have, like, if you want to get more ballistic vest, then just, you know, don't use the Oracle, and you'll only switch between 4 and 8 kill streaks. So that's what you would want to do. And then for specialist, you're going to want to use your scavenger perk as the first one, so you don't run out of ammo, and you'll get that at about 3 kills. Actually, yeah, since we're not using hardline, you will get that at 3 kills. And then the next perk you'll get will be quick draw, which is just deadly on any assault rifle or SMG, especially SMGs. You'll be able to lock onto your enemies very, very quickly. And then for your third, you're going to be using hardline. And hardline will obviously allow you to get your KEM strike at 24 kills instead of 25, and obviously the assists and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah, that's that. Now, there is one thing you can do to change things. You don't really have to use hardline if you don't want to. You can always take it off, and you can switch these all around. You can, do whatever. But one thing that is good about this is taking off that third perk leading up to your bonus. It basically allows you to get your bonus at an earlier amount of kills, which is very useful, and it gets you those 3 perks all at once at a very early on stage. So that's something I definitely would recommend. I do that on a lot of my class setups, and if you want to do that, that's completely up to you. But if you don't, you want to have more perks, then definitely put on 3. Then for the other 3 perks, I have on Deadeye, because obviously that's just self-explanatory. You kill your enemies a lot faster. It's almost a must, and is very effective, especially on like the Vector, and like if you're using Honey Badger, very effective on that as well. And yeah, so then you're going to be using the Gambler perk, just because really the other one slots are just pointless, and Gambler gives you the chance of getting a really good perk. And then you have your Steady Aim, which is very, very effective on especially like the Vector and the MTAR. It's deadly. If you have the chance to hip fire instead of aiming in, you're going to be able to get your shot off quicker than the enemy, and you'll be able to take them out. So that's pretty much it for this class setup. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If we could hit 750 likes on this video, that would be awesome. Let me know in the comment section below if it worked for you, and if you were able to get a chem strike with this class setup. That would be awesome. And if you guys have any better perks or anything, or you found something that works better for you, leave that in the comment section below as well. So anyways, guys, hopefully you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys later.
Okay, let's go. Can't nobody come stop like Carnage. Ha.